Let's talk a little bit about the subconscious mind. Hey guys, and welcome back to Tipharot, welcome back to Mind Mastery. This is episode 10 with me, Matt, here, and in this episode I'm going to be talking a bit about the subconscious. So, we talk about the mind as having, the conscious mind, which is the alert, active mind that we're using all the time. When you're thinking something actively, that's the conscious mind. But then you also have the subconscious mind, and that is essentially everything that's going on beneath. That's not just, some tiny little bit of your brain. It's like every other process that's going on in your brain that you're not aware of. Every process in your body is part of the subconscious as well. That's why people talk about gut reactions to something. That's actually a subconscious reaction, and it's something that you do feel in your gut because your whole body is your subconscious. So what I want to talk specifically about though in this episode is imprinting the subconscious and why this is kind of useful in our journey to mind mastery. So the first thing that we need to do is understand how the subconscious thinks. Because our conscious mind is rather simple. We think something and that's just it. We think a thought and it's there in our conscious mind. And we process thoughts in a kind of linear fashion. We go from one thought to the next to the next. But our subconscious mind is like this whole vast jungle of information going on beneath the surface. And so to work with that, we actually have to think, what does this jungle work like? And the truth of that is that it works a lot like a computer. So if you're using a computer and you essentially get, a bit of information and you just plug it into the computer, it just takes it as it is. If you give it a good instruction, if you give a program or, a computer a useful instruction, it will follow it. Now if you give it a bad instruction, it will follow that just the same. It's not going to stop you and go, hey, I've got a better suggestion, do this instead. Unless it's this annoying guy, but that's kind of an exception. So, computers normally take the instructions that you give them and act on that. And your subconscious is very similar. The thing is, it's taking instructions not just from you, but also from your environment. So, how you were raised, where you grew up, all the things that you see on the TV or that you experience during your day, they all go into your subconscious like code, and it just acts on it. It just takes that information and absorbs it like this big sponge that's just sucking up all this information. And so a lot of that information can be negative and can create, fears, phobias in you. It can make you irrational, it can make you anxious, it can make you paranoid, it can make you, angry easily, all of these things. And this all comes just from all of these influences that are bombarding us all the time. So this is part of why I mentioned in earlier episodes things about rejecting negative thoughts, for example, and about depolarizing yourself, because this will actually cut off a lot of the negative influences that are coming in and programming your subconscious at the minute. But what about taking it in a positive direction? What about programming your subconscious in a positive way? Well, there are a lot of ways we can do this, and there's things like hypnosis, there's things like acting. A lot of people don't know this, but when you actually take on the role of a character and you act like that, your subconscious sees it quite literally. If you, play some convict or something in a play, for that time, that you're acting as the convict, your actual subconscious is convinced that's who you are, that's what you are. And so it absorbs that. And so, for example, if you want to be more like something and, you're not like that in your normal life, you can actually, you can kind of role play, you can act as that for a while. You can do it in a play or a film or a show or whatever, or you can just do it to yourself. And another way that you can actually influence the subconscious is something like magic. Magic, a lot of people get confused. What is magic? Is it real or is it not? To me, the simplest way to sum up magic to someone who doesn't understand it is it's similar to hypnosis. It's a way of working with your mind. It's like Robert Anton Wilson would say, it's all in your head, you just have no idea how big your head is. And that's the thing, your subconscious is this massively powerful computer, and if you know the right ways to dig into it, to put information into it, and to manipulate it in the right way, then you can get it to achieve great things for you. You can, turn your life around completely, because all of your actions and all of your circumstances are dictated by what's going on inside your subconscious. So if you change your subconscious, you change your actions, and if you change your actions, you change your circumstances. So there is nothing that changing your subconscious cannot affect, even external circumstances that seem unrelated. The fact that you're changing that entire programming, the entire operating system beneath the surface, can completely change everything else. It can even change how you perceive the world. You might be perceiving the world in a limited fashion that lets you miss opportunities or not see what's going on, and by changing that programming, you can start to notice things. This is This goes into things like synchronicities and that. Why is it that, you suddenly see this number, you see the number 33, and then like for the next 2 weeks you keep seeing the number 33 everywhere? Is it that that number wasn't there before? No, of course not. The number 33 is everywhere, the number 11, the number 12, all of these numbers, they're all everywhere. But you've changed your programming, you've noticed that, and you've given some importance to that, so your subconscious has then acted on that and shifted your focus, and it's now finding all these other opportunities for you to see the number 33. So, there's a lot of these things, ways that you can program your subconscious like this. And the first thing that I want to deal with in this episode is something really, really simple that everyone can do, and that is affirmations, positive affirmations. Now, you might have heard of this before, and it might seem a bit silly, because essentially what an affirmation involves is you saying something about yourself that's perhaps not true enough times until your subconscious starts to believe it. And your subconscious will start to believe it fairly quickly, but you need to repeat it so that it kind of overrides all the old programming. If you've told yourself, for example, I'm scared of going to parties, perhaps you've told yourself that over and over and over the years, and so now just the moment someone says the word party, you just panic, you get anxious. Well, if you now tell yourself, I love parties are great, blah blah blah, over and over and over, saying that 5 times isn't going to suddenly get rid of all that fear that you have from years before. You have to repeat it so much that it overrides what's already there. So to get started, I want you to write down 5 things that you want to change in your life. 5 things that you're not quite happy with at the moment and that you'd like to be better. Maybe it's something you're afraid of, maybe it's something you're not confident enough in, a new skill that you want to learn, whatever. Write those things down, and after you've done that, I want you to find a phrase that will suggest that you've already accomplished that, and I want you to start repeating that phrase a few times each day in the morning. Just write it down in your notebook to repeat this in the morning when you wake up. So it can be something simple. So say you want to be more confident as a public speaker, then you might feel at the minute, or if you described your public speaking abilities, you might say, I'm not a very good public speaker. So what you want to make your affirmation is the complete opposite of that. You want to make your affirmation, I am a great public speaker. You can add maybe another one to that. You can say, I am confident in public speaking. You can add, multiple things that all say that you're good at this thing that you feel that you're not good at the minute. Or if you're, scared of something, instead of describing yourself as, I am scared of this, you can say, I am confident around this, or I feel calm around this, or I feel good in this situation, I feel natural, blah, blah, blah. So essentially, I want you to take these 5 things or 10 things or however many things that you wanted to write down that you want to change, and I want you to come up with at least one positive affirmation for them. So, take the problem and come up with a way of describing it as if it was resolved. And I want you to take those affirmations and I want you to repeat them at least, 3 or 4 times each morning. It's just something you can do quickly. Get out of bed after you've written in your dream journal, you can just read the affirmation. Simple as that. And you will notice after a few weeks that gradually your old programming is starting to get overwritten. It won't be an overnight sensation. You're not suddenly going to be like, oh, I'm not scared of spiders anymore, just overnight. It's going to be that gradual, you'll be terrified, and then the next day you'll be slightly less scared, and then the next day you'll be slightly less scared, and over a period of weeks or months this will help and induce a change. Now in future episodes we're going to talk about more rapid and more powerful changes, but affirmations are a good way of doing the general stuff. Like say you want to feel more happy, then you can do affirmations that say, I am happy, I love my life, this kind of thing. Or say you want to believe that you're deserving of this job, you can say, I deserve this job, I'm great for it, I'm the right person for this job. Things like that can change your core attitudes. It'll take a long time to do it, but it's worth doing because your core attitudes are something that you want to be working on every day, and you want to be overriding this programming already now. Take that first step, take action, and get those affirmations going. So thank you for watching this 10th episode of Mind Mastery. If you enjoyed the episode and you want to watch more Mind Mastery, then remember to subscribe up there because you've got regular videos that come out every Wednesday and Saturday. If you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions about this episode, or you want some help with your affirmations, leave that down in the comments below. And if you want to book a private consultation with me, if you want to learn more about any of these subjects, or you have a particular question or issue that needs addressing, then you can do that by sending me a private message here on YouTube. I'm more than happy to help. The whole purpose here of Tipharot is to help you guys achieve your dreams. So thank you once again for watching. If you want to keep watching, then remember to check out the playlist that's linked on screen. Take care guys, and have a nice day.